Hi guys, it's about 12:50 right now Easton. It is about 11:50 Central. I'm Stephen Boyle. Let's talk a little about what's going on across the country here. If you want to know what's going on tropically, have another video on that. But this is talking about what's going on across the country, severe weather-wise. Talking a little bit about the heat, the dryness, and actually going to look a little bit further on and talk a little about hurricanes as well. So all of this information will be put in here. Okay, we're going to talk a little about what's going on up here into New England in a few minutes. There is some I do have a few concerns later on tonight here in New England, and we'll talk a little about that in just a couple minutes. But there's a flash flood watch into portions of West Virginia and eastern parts of Kentucky. Again, this is all part of the same system that we have. It's a strong cold front that'll be moving through the East Coast and cooling things down. Heat advisory into portions of Texas and Oklahoma. Also a heat advisory into portions of the Memphis metro area, northern portions of Mississippi, and portions of Arkansas are under a heat advisory this afternoon. I think this is a fire warning or extreme fire danger into portions of South Dakota. Very dry, very patched into this region. Flash flood watch into portions of New Mexico. An excessive heat warning, I believe. Yes, excessive heat warning into portions of Arizona. A red flag warning in through a lot of the west here. And then we have a heat advisory into portions of Washington State. Hot into some of these regions. So gonna start off here speaking about again, this area here has been very dry over the past few days. It's gonna continue being dry. Let's take a brief check on this excessive heat warning down into portions of Arizona. Temperatures generally will be ranging between 110 and 115. Overnight lows will fall around 90 degrees. Very nasty heat here. It's normal though. Then we have this heat advisory into portions of Texas. We'll also look at that heat advisory into portions of Washington State in a couple seconds. But this is for the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Some heat advisories out there. Temperatures 98 to 102. Heat indices around 106. Now, hot conditions for the Memphis metro area. Temperatures between 105 and 107, or actually heat index readings 105 to 107, with temperatures between, we'll say, 98 to 101 into some of these regions. Now I'm working our way into Washington State. This is kind of interesting, seeing a heat advisory in for the Seattle region. Temperatures, let's see here. Temperatures will be fairly warm into this area today. Let's actually look at Seattle's forecast temperatures here. 92 today, but look at these temperatures afterwards. Temperatures going into the 70s here. So you can see that this area will be getting quite the cool down. But that's kind of interesting though. 90s in for the Seattle region. It's a little intense here. That's kind of an indicator what's going to be happening a little bit later on this upcoming winter here, or throughout the rest of August here. Alright, flash flood watch for portions of Hamden, Hampshire, and Franklin County. We're zooming on now here into New England. Berkshire County is also under a flash flood watch. All of southern Vermont, southwestern New Hampshire, and the majority of central and western Connecticut is under a flash flood watch here. Also working our way a little bit to the west, there's now a severe thunderstorm watch into portions of New York. But then again, there's also, for the Hudson River Valley, a flash flood watch. So this is for the fact that tonight there will be some thunderstorms that will start firing up, and they have already started to fire up. I'll show you the whole entire area here. This area out in here will eventually affect us tonight. This will affect us probably within the next few hours, next 4 or 5 hours, this will move through. This area will probably affect us sometime around midnight tonight. All of this, so this area and this area of thunderstorms will all affect us, and then by tomorrow we should be nice and cool and much more comfortable out there. So this is what's going on, and we could see some flood and rains. We could also see some pretty nasty lightning, some thunder, maybe even some large hail and some damage in winds, but those are not my main concerns. My main concern is, of course, the flooding aspect. So we'll be looking at that. That's again a possibility here as things work our way through the next several hours, or through the next over the next several hours. Those will be my primary concerns. So now let's look at the models here. And this is that front that'll be moving through. Some thunderstorms will be moving through tonight. Tomorrow will be much more comfortable, and we should really see some more rain probably as early as next Thursday. Things could get a little bit more on the muggier side by that time, but it doesn't look like it will be as hot this upcoming week as it was this past week. Here is that front, some pretty nasty thunderstorms, cooling things down behind it. Could see another area of rain sometime, like I said, around Thursday. And if you look at this right here, you see this little area of action here. This could become maybe a little bit of a storm system here, maybe a little hurricane, or, well, not a hurricane, or maybe a tropical storm or a depression. However, you look at this here, and there could be this nasty, mean old low by next Saturday that really gives us some well-needed rain. This thing could really get its act together here and do some pretty interesting stuff. Now, we're going to briefly kind of go down here. See this? This is Ernesto. This will be working according to the Canadian model. This will be hidden Texas somewhere in here, which is pretty accurate. So, you know, that's what it's looking like at this particular point. Again, I will talk a little bit more about Ernesto in my other video. Okay, so here's that front, some pretty nasty thunderstorms according to the GFS this evening, and then things cool down, and we may see some more rain around the Thursday time frame yet again. Wednesday, Thursday particularly, we'll start seeing some more rain, maybe even a little bit of a low pressure system moving in. And then you see this out here, kind of a little bit of an interesting feature. That's actually Florence. Now, here's another little interesting tidbit of information here. See this little low pressure here? It starts down in here. I don't know if this is a depression or a tropical storm, or if it's just a nor'easter type system, but it gives all of New England some pretty interesting rainfall. This is actually kind of a nice piece of information, because this kind of shows you what could be happening this upcoming winter when it comes in terms of some systems here. We have a cold front that will be moving through a little bit later on, and then we have this low pressure system that really affects the area with some well-needed rain. Look at this. Some pretty nice amounts of rain with, you know, maybe close, if not exceeding an inch of rain here. That moves out, and then look at this monster down here. I showed you a model yesterday. This had the hurricane going something like this, but now this one is either going to come like this, or it would curve up the coast like this. This is a pretty darn nasty hurricane here. This one I'm really worried about, because yet again, another model run that's saying this, and if you remember yesterday, it showed a pretty nasty hurricane just in a separate location, but this is around the 21st. I'm really kind of a little worried about this particular situation here. I don't know if it would move this in this direction, or if it would eyeball New England, but this is definitely a major concern for me, and that 2 model runs in a row, or at least 2 days in a row, I see this on the same exact model. something that's pretty interesting here and something that is definitely going to be highly watched here. Again, this could pose a serious threat for the East Coast eventually. So keep that in the back of your mind and make sure you continue to stay tuned, as of course things will update. But this is a possible huge threat for the East Coast. I don't know how many storms before this will have in the Atlantic, but again, this one I'm really concerned about, and actually, this is actually sort of proven my some of my theories about a hurricane this year hitting New England, or at least the East Coast. Um, this is again very a fairly big revelation. So I will keep my eyes peeled on this over the next several models, see what happens with it. But I will give you continuous updated information on this. Overall, though, if you want to look across the country, huge ridge in the west, pretty nice trough in the east. Now you look at this, and if there is this trough in the east, it could curve something like that, and it depends upon the amplitude of the trough. If the trough is something like this, then guess what? New England is in for some trouble. I don't know exactly the amplitude of the trough. I don't know if it goes, I think it goes something along the lines like this. If that's the case, then New England may escape it, but we don't know exactly how the amplitude of the trough will be at this particular time. But even still, this is a major threat, but it looks like New England will be cooler at this time, and the west will really start heating up, and we may even start seeing some extremely dry conditions in the Four Corners region. So that's what's going on across the country. I hope you all have a great rest of your Saturday, and I may post another video a little later talking a little bit more about Ernesto and his track. Also, I will be continuing to post updated information on the severe weather situation that we'll be seeing here in New England today. So I hope you all have a great rest of your Sunday, and we'll be back tomorrow with some more updates. Take care, everyone.